All right, so welcome to Warrior Wednesday. Come to a comfortable seat, elevating your hips if you like, resting your hands wherever they feel relaxed and comfortable. Let's take a moment to shift gears from all that has been happening this morning to here and now. Today, I'd like to offer a practice for the whole body, but with a focus on Vishuddha, which is throat chakra. So I'd like you all to just take your two hands and just cup your hands lightly around the sides of your neck. So the heel of your hands just softly touching the front, the fingers touching the back. And as you breathe here in this most narrow part of your body, I'd like you to just feel a little softening around your vocal cords. Relax your tongue. Just let breath start to make its way in and out of these chambers, these channels of your throat. This, of course, is our center of communication. It's where our expression comes from in words. And we often have blocks here, bottlenecks. And when that happens, our words come from our head, from our brain, which means our words come from our conditioning. We say what we're supposed to say. We say what is expected of us. When our throat chakra is open, our words come from our hearts, our place of truth. Satya is the yoga word for truthfulness, Satya, our inner knowing. So today's practice will be about opening the heart and clearing the channel so that words come from a more profound place, more authentic place. So go ahead and relax your hands. Bring your left palm up in front of your navel, and the right hand is going to cup over the left hand. So imagine that you're holding just like a precious little baby bird inside of your hands here. There's an open space. The fingers of the right hand gently touch the outside of the left thumb. This is Samputa Mudra, Samputa. And the meaning of that word is the treasure chest. You can think of this little space as holding the treasure of our truth. So taking deep breaths, imagine breath coming up into the throat and moving back down. Even though that's opposite of actual breath, just imagine energy rising up from the heart through the throat and gliding back down. It is said that this mudra awakens us to the treasure of our true inner being, instilling a natural sense of integrity, allowing us to communicate our truth more clearly. So we'll come back to that later. But for now, open your hands and turn your palms up. Scoop your arms out wide to the sides. Let your thumbs reach back. Lift your chin. On the exhale, wrap your arms around. Notice which arm crosses over the top. Tuck your chin to your chest. And then inhale, open, palms back, lift your chin again. And switch, opposite arm on top. Continue moving like this, opening as far back and up as you can, and then closing in nice and easy. We're directing breath and energy to the throat, our center of clear communication. Let's go one more time, both ways. And then returning to center, let's bring our fingertips to the floor on either side of us and just drop one ear to one shoulder. Feel that nice open space on the opposite side. And then start to make some half circles here. Back and forth. This chakra is also about listening. And so we're increasing our capacity to hear and to listen to others as they share their truth, even when it differs from ours. And then returning to center, sit with the tallest spine that you can. Turn to look over one shoulder, look as far back as you can, and come back to center and switch. Just notice rotation around your neck, your throat. And then back to center. Let's move ourselves around into child's pose and bring your block with you. The block is just going to go right here underneath the forehead on any of its levels, putting a little bit of pressure on the third eye, this place between the eyebrows. Arms wherever they feel most comfortable. And then we're just going to roll across the brows. Another little rotation of the neck. Gentle pressure to the third eye. Then bringing ourselves up to a tabletop position. You can set your block at the top of your mat. Let's tuck toes and lift into downward facing dog. Start to pedal your heels here. I don't know about you, but every time I come to downward facing dog, I just let this big sigh out. So go ahead and do that. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Just let that neck space be loose. And let's walk forward, feet to hands. Come into an easy forward fold. And then press to the shins, flat back, scoop the arms up. And today, as we bring the hands down, let's come back to Samputa Mudra. So instead of hands heart center here, every time we come back, making our little treasure chest with our hands in front of our hearts. We could use a mantra like, aligned with the voice of my inner being, I communicate clearly and truthfully. Let's sweep the arms high. Take a deep breath in. Look up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Press hands to shins, lift halfway. And step back, downward facing dog. We'll take our first vinyasa. So shifting forward onto knees or toes. Spinning the elbows to lower down halfway. Pause. And then lower all the way to the ground. Let's come up to Cobra and stay right here for just a moment. Let your fingertips come off your mat. Lift as high as you comfortably can, and then just look left and look right here. No strain, just easy, gentle movement of the neck. And then release, pressing back into downward facing dog. So as we're practicing truth, one way that we can practice this on our mat is really being true to ourselves about our limits, our strengths, and our limitations of our body, and not pushing past that edge. Let's come forward into a flat back and exhale to fold. Softening the knees, sweep the arms back, out and up, look up. And then hands come down into Samputa Mudra, our treasure chest, holding the treasure of our inner truth. Let's go again, rise up. Bow low. Lift halfway and step back. Take a vinyasa. Your way, knees or toes, slow or a little faster. And we will meet in downward facing dog. Loosening up through the neck. Let's bring our feet forward, lift halfway, and exhale, forward fold. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider here so you feel good and stable. Bend your knees, let your belly rest on your thighs. We're going to interlace our hands behind our neck. Just interlace, and you might the hands behind the head, use your thumbs to massage down the back of the neck. Just draw your thumbs into those nice muscles that are probably kind of tight. Our heads are hanging forward over our devices a lot, so loosen up here. Rub in and just kind of dig in. And then release your hands, lift halfway. Let's scoot back, out and up. Look up. And exhale, Samputa Mudra, the treasure chest. Aligned with the voice of my inner being, I communicate clearly and truthfully. So let your hands come to the crease of your hips, and then just pick up your left knee, step back into a warrior one stance. Just take those strong footprints into the earth, outer ankle. If the hips are a little bit to the corner, that's totally fine. Reach your arms up. And then take a hold of your left wrist, stretch up and out through the left side body. Let's find that nice side body reach. Good. Lengthening through the whole body. Come up to center and peel open into warrior two. Take your feet just a little bit wider. I always like to kind of bounce in and out of that front leg a few times until I find the perfect spot. So turn your head to look over your right middle knuckle, and then really slowly pivot your head to look backwards. And looking forward and looking backward. Just gentle, no strain. Staying forward, turn the palm and inhale to reverse warrior. And if this creates any strain in your neck, you can keep your head more in line with your spine by just looking toward your screen. If it feels okay to your neck, you can look up at your palm. Reach a little higher, open a little bit more through that right rib cage space. And then return the hands to parallel, but straighten the front leg, turn the toes. Palms lift up. And exhale, swan dive, forward folds. Bend and straighten your knees a few times here. Just put a little bend in those knees. Just exploring the hamstrings, the knees, the hips. And then with the legs a little straighter, lower the head down, reach out to the outer ankles and use the strength of your arms to very gently draw you deeper into this position. Full, slow breaths. And then lifting up halfway. Let's walk our fingers toward our left foot and rising up into warrior one. Take your time to find those footprints. Reach the arms. Good, and when you feel ready, grab your right wrist, stretch up and over. Give yourself this nice, almost like a yawn stretch. Like a first thing in the morning stretch. Returning to center, peel open, warrior two. Shoulders are relaxed and down. And then just begin that slow pivot of the head on the axis of the spine. And Gigi, if this causes you any pain, please feel free to keep your neck just nice and neutral. Anyone with neck issues, just go really easy on these movements. Listen to your body. Be truthful with what shows up today. Let's turn the left palm and reverse the warrior. And if it feels okay, look up. If not, keep your gaze forward. And we're just reaching each breath, increasing the space between our ribs and in our side body. And returning to warrior two. Straightening the front leg, let's turn toward parallel. This time arms behind. You can reach towards, grab a strap or interlace, whatever feels best. And then we'll hinge from the hips, coming down into this forward fold. Exaggerate breath here. Where can you force breath? Into your shoulders, your back, your belly. Releasing the hands, let's lift halfway and then walk toward our front foot. Come up to warrior one with your hands on your hips. Okay, so I think we're warm enough. I think we're ready for some balance, a little bit of balance work. We're going to go into this slowly and we'll be on this right leg for a while. So this is where you might want a prop, a chair, or a block in front of your mat. All right, so let's begin now by lifting up our back heel. So come onto those toes, hands in front of the heart. Deep breath in, the chest lifts, and on the exhale, we're shifting forward over that right leg into a flat back. You definitely have the option to stay on the back toes. And if you'd like a little balance challenge, lift up. I'm going to create a little flow here, reaching the arms out away on the inhale, and on the exhale, hugging the knee in. Out and away, and in. Feel free to do half of this, just upper or just lower. Or try the whole enchilada. And then bring your hands to heart center. Slowly lower down, kick that left leg up, come into a standing split. Wiggle your toes, circle your ankle. Nice. And then using that block or that chair that you have, bring your right hand down, open up into half moon. Some nice deep breaths. Good. And lowering back down. Let the left foot come down to meet the right. Come down into as much of a crouch as your knees will let you. Just take the pressure out of that right leg. And straightening those legs. Let's sweep the arms high. And come back to heart center, Samputa Mudra. Let's treasure our inner truth, our authentic expression. And then the hands to the hips, step back with right foot. Let's create that warrior one on the second side. Hands to heart, chest lifts, and then we'll lift our back toes. Begin to shift your way into your expression of warrior 3. You can either just stay and work on balance, or if you enjoyed that flow on the other side, start to move with your breath. And then hands to heart, extend that leg. Easier said than done. And lower down, standing split. Wiggle the toes, circle the ankle. And preparing for half moon on the other side, bring the block underneath your left hand. I like it out to the side of my left foot, maybe forward just a little bit. So you can kind of lean back into that hand. As we're breathing, just think of relaxing the muscles in your throat. Just let your breath soften the muscles of your throat. Coming back to the center, lower that right leg, and come down to whatever crouch your legs will allow. It might be halfway down, just a nice deep knee bend. And then just straightening the legs to forward fold. Right foot stays where it is, left leg reaches back. Come on up to your expression of warrior 3 once again. We're just gonna do that flow one more time on each side. What is true for you as you practice this? Is your balance a little challenged? Is that what true is? And hands down, replace, come down. Sometimes we bring the word can't into our vocabulary, and that's not always true. Straightening the legs, right leg lifts. Find your expression of warrior 3, and then if you like, a little flow. So maybe instead of can't, what is more true is I choose not to. Or this is not in my practice yet. And come back down to your forward fold. Woo! And a little crouch. Nice job, everybody. All right, straightening the legs, right foot in front, left foot steps back. Let's come down to our knee. And let's bring our hands inside our right foot for lizard. And we'll just juice this hip a little bit. Just let that knee come in and out. Let go of any stress you took on in that balancing section. gone. It's over. Let the knee stay out to the side, and then using a block, if you like, come down to one elbow, maybe two elbows. Kind of see what your body sees as truth. And breathe here, folks. Just breathe to soften the space in your throat. Aligned with the voice of my inner being, I communicate clearly and truthfully. Just turning inward, where we can align with our authentic being, our inner wisdom. Pressing up, let's lift the knee and then shift backwards into the hamstring. Let's do that a few times as a little release. And then staying in that nice extended leg. If you'd like, just scoot the heel out away from you a few inches and walk your hands forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. And shifting to the bottom of that foot again, let's tuck the back toes, turn toward the wide edge of the mat, and then just lunge from side to side. Turn your toes out. And just get a little playful here, moving as shallow or deep as your hips and knees allow. Back and forth. And we'll eventually take our block toward our left foot and drop our right knee. And bringing the hands to the inside of that left foot, let's start to dip the knee in and out, juicing the left hip. And the core is engaged. We're just easing our way around this hip, nice and easy. And then we'll let that knee drop out to the side, either coming down to one elbow or maybe two. Every day is different. Every body is different. What do you need today? Breathing into this inward looking practice. Close your eyes. The purpose of this pose is hip opening for sure, but it allows us another opportunity to meet ourselves at a deeper level, to bring our awareness here to this body, this breath, this time, to step away from future and past thinking and just be present right here, right now, listening and softening. Let's press back up, the knee lifts, and we'll shift backwards. You guys tell I'm sore today. I'm doing a lot of wooing. Left heel glides forward, hands walk forward, find that spacious hamstring stretch. As we shift forward again, let's tuck our back toes, return to the center, for some more side to side movement. And then coming right into the center, let's fold forward. We're going to incorporate froggy pose today. So dropping to our knees right here in the middle. If you want, you can fold the sides of your mat in so you have a little bit more padding on both sides of you. I know a bunch of you just swore at me when I said frog pose. We're going to take the knees wide, just like child's pose, but wider. Feet flexed, hips straight from the knees. And if you'd like to rest on a block, it's kind of nice to just put that under your forehead. Find comfortably uncomfortable. And breathe. The inward looking, that even when things are uncomfortable, you can draw the attention inward. Our breath can soften our throat. You can get a glimpse of this authentic self in here. Deepen your breath. Clear the throat channels. And let's press up to our hands. Wriggle your knees in a little bit closer to one another. Turn to face the top of your mat and then tuck your toes, downward facing dog. And one at a time, let's take a leg up and just open through the hips, circle, shake it out. And then switch. Just loosening up through that hip. Good, and then lowering the knees to the ground, come up onto your shins, sweep the arms up overhead, look up at your hands, just kneeling tall, arms back. Almost like camel, but not quite that far back. And then sweep the arms down, fold into child's pose. Now block under your head if you like, and rest here for a breath or two. Let's bring ourselves around to easy seat. We're going to do another little flow here that starts to, again, to help us stimulate this opening from chest to throat. So we're going to come into easy seat. Hands are just on the knees. We're going to exhale, round the back, tuck the chin into the chest. Really stretch open through the back of the neck and between the shoulder blades. On the inhale, the legs unfold out, the toes point, the hands come behind, and we lift. So a lot going on here. Lift into Purvottanasana. Look up and slightly back. And then sit and fold in on yourself. Let's move with breath. It's a whole body movement. Everything is expanding. Everything is collapsing. You might think of a flower like tight in the bud, just peeling itself open into the sun. And pause here in this forward fold. Rising up, extend the legs out wide. Take yourself out into a nice wide straddle. Sitting bones planted on the earth. Lengthen through the crown. So if you're feeling pretty tight in your hamstrings, or if you have a tendency to kind of tuck backwards when you move your hands, I'm going to invite you to just stay like this for several breaths. If you feel pretty comfortable here and you're on the front of your sitting bones, go ahead and bring the hands out in front of you. And we're just going to explore side to side. We're coming over toward one leg and back through the center toward the other, just at your own pace. Maybe staying in one place a little longer. Just kind of explore here. And this inward attention. Bringing ourselves back to center. Coming into Mermaid. So I'm going to bend my left knee to the front and my right knee to the back. Trying to be on the sitting bone. So if that's not happening, you could elevate your hips. And then plant your right hand, lift your left. If your neck allows, you could look up at that hand and down at the opposite hand. So there's a little bit of a diagonal motion through the neck here. And then center, switch sides. As the left hand comes down, you might even come all the way to your elbow. Reach that right arm over, or maybe slightly back. Just gently pull back through the right shoulder. You can look up or straight forward here. Good, come back to center. Switch your legs, right in front, left in back. If that doesn't feel great to the knee, this is a nice option as well, straight leg. So left hand to the floor, right arm up and open. And then if your neck says okay, look up. Look from hand to hand. Another little diagonal movement. Looking to open the channels so that my words come from my heart more than my head. Head and switch. Right hand down to the elbow, left arm over. So my brain, my mind has this big need to always be right. To have all the opinions and make all the points. My heart does not have that desire. My heart knows what is true, and my heart seeks what is true from others. So it's always listening. Unlike our brains, our minds. Breathe a little deeper right here. Stretch a little further. That feels so good. And then return. Both legs come out in front of us. We're going to lower down onto our backs, knees into chest. Let's give ourselves a nice little squeeze, a little massage on the earth. I'm just going to do a little bit of work here in bridge pose. So go ahead and plant your feet onto the earth and inhale up to bridge. You're welcome to interlace your hands or let them just rest on the floor. And here in bridge, I want you to just take some tiny, tiny pulses. So just contracting the glutes and relaxing, just the tiniest movement, but just so you can really feel the strength of your glutes. And each time that little pulse, that little squeeze allows for a little more opening in the hip flexors. So just little easy pulses. And then hold the bridge as high as you can. Open the knees and squeeze them together. Open the knees, feel the outer hips, feel the inner hips. Open, and squeeze one more time. And then regular bridge, press into the ball of your big toes. Press into your big toes, lift as high as you can. Take a nice deep breath in. And then release. Ah, that's nice. Draw those knees back into the chest. Move around a little bit on your back. You're going to take the knees wide, feet flat to the ceiling for happy baby. So you can either pull down on the hamstrings or the backs of your feet. The outer edges of your feet. We want a little pressure in happy baby. We want to try to get the sacrum and the tailbone down to the floor. So I want you to see if that's possible. Breathe a little deeper into your belly. Either move around or hold still. And then release the knees back to the chest. Let's hold on to the right knee, hold the knee in, let the left leg drop flat to the floor. Give the right knee a nice tight squeeze. And then exhale, curl your head up to meet your knee, so chin to chest. And then lower your head, pull that knee out to the side, just almost like happy baby, but just with a little more stretch for the inner thigh. Turn your head to the left. Keep breathing through the throat. And then head comes neutral, knee comes center. We're going to cross the body for a twist. So you can hook your toes on the back of your knee. Might feel nice to support that knee with a block. And now the head turns to the right. Find the deepest, slowest breath you possibly can here. Imagining on the inhale, the breath coming up into the throat, the energy rising from heart up through the throat. And on the exhale, back down. Imagine sounds coming in through the ears and down into the heart on the exhale. Inhale from heart up through the mouth. Exhale sound comes in through the ears and makes its way into the heart. Releasing to center. Extend your body into Shavasana for just a moment and see if you can feel any difference left and right. Where do you notice tingling in your body? Aliveness. Let's hug our left knee in nice and tight. Really squeeze at the knee, squeeze at the hip crease. Exhale to draw the chin to the chest, the forehead to the knee. Tight little ball. Exhale more. And then as you inhale, the head comes to the floor. Hold the knee out to the side. You can move it or just hold that stretch. Head turns to the right. Coming back to neutral, draw the knee across the body, find a twist. And the head turns out to the left over the left arm. Expansive breaths. Imagining again on the inhale, energy coming up from the heart in the way of words that make their way out of your mouth as clear truth. And on the exhale, sounds come in through the ears, pouring down into your heart, hearing with your heart. Releasing back to Shavasana. Let your arms be a little wider. Let your legs be a little wider. Even your body on the earth. As you enter into rest, just continue that image of energy drawing up as you breathe in. Energy sinking down as you breathe out. This beautiful relationship between your heart and your voice. Let's take 3 more full breaths here in Shavasana. Let the exhale be an audible sigh. And at the end of that 3rd breath, find a slow and gentle transition back to a seat. When you find your seat, let your fingertips again touch the floor. Let's sweep the left arm up, put some weight, right arm up, put some weight on the left hand. Bend your right elbow and just turn to look up at that hand, open up. Maybe the elbow reaches back. Come back to center and switch. Left arm lifts, reach, reach. Then the elbow, just roll back into this nice, easy backward stretch. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands in front of you, come into an easy little forward fold. Inhale, fingertips back, open up through the chest. Maybe even grab your hands behind you, stretch your chest. Look up as much as you can. And then hands once again to the knees, round your back. Coming into neutral, head to shoulder, a couple more half circles. Really aware of sensation here in the neck. And then a neutral spine. Let's take Samputa Mudra again, left hand up, right hand over the top, fingers just on the outside of the thumb. Let's take a few breaths here with this mudra, attuning to the sensations and the feelings as you reflect on this treasure chest. Notice breath flowing upward and downward in your throat, allowing ease of breath. Maybe even hearing the sound of your breath as it moves in and out of your throat. On the inhale, you could think or say the word Sat. And on the exhale, the word Nam. Sat Nam means truth is my identity. Sat Nam. I am aligned with the voice of my inner being. I communicate clearly and truthfully. Truth is my identity. And then just slowly closing our hands together in a gesture of gratitude. Leaving our practice today with gratitude and acknowledgement for this beautiful heart beating in our chest, our center of wisdom, of knowing, authenticity. Leaving today trusting that this is within us and we have the tools to tap into this spacious truth. Thank you all for slowing down, for taking time today to just be present, to listen to your inner voice. Namaste.